What's up, my soldiers? It's Wobbly Yonder, and this is probably the most Air Force-y start to any of my videos so far. So, C-17, no problem. I'm about to go down to the Anchorage Museum and kind of see what's going on down there. Should be pretty fun. You guys may have noticed that this camera angle is a little bit different today, or this camera might be a little bit strange. That's my door, sorry. I have like a really old door that pops when I open it. But I'm going down to the Anchorage Museum today. I'm using my GoPro. I finally bought a GoPro. It's the GoPro Hero Plus. So this should be pretty interesting. I'm going to try to see what the video quality is like with this camera. I also bought a dash mount, so I'm going to talk to you guys about the pros and cons of being either like really gung-ho, like leadership mentality at BMT versus the laid back kind of, I'm just trying to get through it. I'm not trying to be noticed. I'm not here to make a bunch of friends. I'm just trying to get through basic training. So there's two different types of people who go to BMT, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about basically the difference between both of them.
So we're going to play a little game called What's in Maylee's Box.
Please excuse all the papers and stuff in my truck. I took a bunch of CLEPs this week, and whenever you take a CLEP, they give you a piece of paper that tells you whether you passed or you failed. I took 3 CLEPs to finish my associate's degree this week, and the second to last CLEP, I didn't pass. So I had to take 3 CLEPs. The first one was astronomy, the second one was human resource management, and the third one was college mathematics. Now I knew for sure I was not going to pass college mathematics because I suck at math. That's my least favorite subject. That's my least talented subject. Astronomy, knocked out the park. Human resource management, I expected to knock that out of the park, and then I expected to have some problems with math. So I finished my astronomy, no problem. Moved on to human resources. I failed it by 388. I failed it by 12 points. 12 points. Basically, human resource management is just pick the most Air Force-y answer and you should pass with no problem. And that's pretty much how you pass those type of like human resource management, HR type CLEPs, because the Air Force basically trains you on that all the time. So if you know how to pass it, if you know how to be in the Air Force, then you can pass it. Anyways, that's what all the papers are for. So I just went on that random tangent. I want to get to the real video there now. So if you want to be laid back at BMT, it's pretty simple. Like, just don't say anything. Like, don't say anything, don't mess up, follow directions, and learn from other people's mistakes. Because if you can do those simple things, your MTI is not going to notice you. They're not going to notice you. They're not going to care about you. We actually had one guy on our flight who, I think it was like the last day of BMT. This guy was so laid back that our MTI didn't recognize him. I didn't even recognize him. It was like the 3rd or 4th week of training, and I saw him, and I'm like, "What are you doing, man? Aren't you in brother flight? Like, are you even in our flight?" He's like, "Yes, I've been in your flight this whole time." And I was like, "Oh." It was like super awkward. But if you're super laid back, nobody's gonna notice you. The benefits of being laid back are that you don't have to worry too much about anybody noticing you or getting in trouble a whole lot or having a really tough job. The bonuses are that, you don't have a tough job. You pretty much just breeze through BMT. I think the negatives are you don't grow a lot as a person. I don't think you're going to grow a lot leadership-wise or communication-wise or working with others. You're pretty much just going to be, staying under the radar. So you're kind of just going to be at BMT, but I don't think you're going to ever feel like you really went through a whole lot. I think. That's what I think. But I mean, if that's not important to you, then I guess you don't care. So let's talk about being gung-ho. If you want to be gung-ho, if you did JROTC, if you did the Civil Air Patrol, if you were just really motivated about the military and you're really trying to expand your leadership potential and use some of the leadership skills that you brought maybe from a different job or from high school or from like team building and stuff like that, then you want to definitely go out and try to be a dorm chief, an element leader, a shower runner, any of those jobs, a guidon bearer, any of those jobs that are going to force you to go out and be yelled at, and it's going to push you and it's going to make you become a more experienced person. It's not going to really benefit you much more than just getting honor grad or getting extra points towards honor grad, because even a laid back person, if you don't have an important job, you can still get honor grad. That has nothing to do with it. You only get a couple extra points, like 3 extra points max for being dorm chief. So people in my flight who did never anything, not a single damn thing, still got honor grade, while people who were element leaders didn't get it. So I mean, really it comes down to what kind of BMT experience do you want? Do you want to have an experience where you learn a lot, where you communicate a lot, where you it's a lot more stressful, you have a lot more on your plate, you have a lot more responsibility, but you actually learn a lot more. So it's like pros and cons. I think most people are laid back. Most people just want to get through BMT, but I wanted to be experienced. I wanted to learn more, and I thought that I could handle it. So I went for the biggest job out there, dorm chief, and I got fired for some simple, stupid stuff. Simple, stupid stuff. But I learned from it. You know, I learned that you need to pay more attention, that you need to really cover your ass in the Air Force, because people will sell you out. People will, you know, if it means that they're not going to get in trouble if they sell you out, people can sell you out for stuff like that. So I learned a lot about covering your ass, about always being in the right, don't be in the wrong. If you know you're doing something wrong, just cut it out, because somebody will catch you. And that's kind of how the Air Force is. But I learned a lot. I wouldn't have learned those lessons if I was just laid back. So that's just some of the things that you should take into account for. All right, so now we're pulling up in Anchorage. I don't really, that guy was knocked out. He was like, I probably shouldn't mimic him while I'm driving, but that's how he looked. But I'm pulling into Anchorage now. I'm probably gonna turn the camera around so you guys can see where I'm going. I'm pulling up at the museum. I'm downtown right now. And yeah. I haven't been to this museum yet, but I've drove past it a billion times. Hopefully it's, you know, a decent museum. I'll show you guys around. Here we go.